There's going to be an update from the police's spokesperson, Athlenda Mathe. Perhaps let's just bring some of those live visuals for you as the search continues for the missing vehicle that was used to transport 3 police officers. Griselda Lewis is part of our team watching the story. And Griselda, what are we learning at this hour?
Primarily, they are searching for the missing.
Well, Ayanda, we've come much closer to where this search operation continues. It's absolutely incredible taking a look at those divers moving some of the debris towards where they believe this heavy metal, which could possibly be this vehicle that the police officers were traveling in, is stationed at this particular stage. And what we've also taken a look at is that there was a heavy tree that was also removed from this particular area, which seemed to have been a barrier. But I want to bring in Brig Athlenda Mathe from the South African Police Service.
An update?
Well, a very good morning, and thank you for the opportunity. As you can see, our teams are hard at work. We have a multidisciplinary search and rescue team that is busy with this particular operation. We've got our SABC divers, we've got our City of Tshwane divers, and we've got our K9 search and rescue. We've got basically all the teams that have been working on this particular case, not forgetting the Hawks, crime intelligence, our detectives, and so on. So you can see just behind me here, our divers are inside the water. They are holding on to each side. We've got teams that are holding on to each side because we are told the river is flowing quite fast. The water is flowing quite fast. So as you can see on both sides, we've got teams that are holding on to these divers with ropes for safety reasons and so on, so that they don't slip and fall and get washed away in this water that is moving quite fast. So they are busy. They have their weight sticks. I did indicate last night that these particular sticks are utilized by our divers to search for objects. And by yesterday, they had picked up in this area, which is like 4 kilometers away from where we are suspecting the point of entry is, where possibly this vehicle plunged into the river. So we are about 4 kilometers from the N1 highway. So they're busy searching for this metal object. There's no confirmation yet that the car has been found. We were busy earlier. You would have seen we've got 2 heavy-duty vehicles to assist us to remove the debris, but to remove the big trees that were serving as an obstruction for this particular operation. So the operation is well underway. No sign of the vehicle yet, but we are utilizing the resources of the SABC divers to pick up on this metal object.
Yesterday or last night, Brigadier, you mentioned that you have, using your satellite devices and whatever, that you have at least located the vehicle itself, although you still had to retrieve it. Is that still the case?
No. Let's clarify. No satellite device. It was our warm bodies, our SABC divers, together with the City of Tshwane. We've got an SRI that felt a metal object by utilizing the sticks. So while they were scoring this river, searching it, they came across what feels and sounds like a metal object, and that's when we then moved our particular operation to this area. So let's also clarify that. But also just to utilize this opportunity to call for responsible social media reporting. We picked up a case on social media where an individual in Cape Town claims he saw this particular vehicle in that area. We have registered a case of defeating the ends of justice. We are searching for this particular person because he is misleading investigations. So we are calling on South Africans really to utilize social media responsibly and to report on facts.
Fair enough, and I'll give you, my colleague, an opportunity. Thanks for the correction. But while still on that, if you are saying it was the actual warm bodies that identified what looked like a car last night, What is the development in regard to the identification of that particular object this morning? Are you still convinced it's a car, or you found that it's something else?
Well, we are still searching. You can see the divers are still hard at work. And remember, the search was suspended last night, so it could be perhaps this metal object has moved, so they're still searching for it, trying to locate it. And let me also clarify that they did not see it with the naked eye. They utilized the sticks. SABC divers and all divers utilize sticks to search for objects in waters and rivers and so on. So these particular sticks then detected what seems to be a metal object that is the size of the vehicle that we're possibly looking for. But for now, we're still hard at work. As you can see, the teams are still busy. But I will just get a report on why they've now come up, and it looks like they've probably suspended this particular search. Maybe we have an update on what they have found, because we can see that they're moving.
It seems like there's a Brigadier. It seems like it might be for some water for some of these. For some of the divers that have been in the water, they've come out of the water now. Brigadier Athlenda Mathe, can we continue here? Have the divers managed to locate the metal object that they located yesterday?
Well, I'll have to just check if the metal object that they picked up yesterday, they were able to detect it this morning. So I think there is a debriefing session that is currently underway with the General. They will provide that feedback to him as to what are the divers detecting from the river. So I'll just...
Brigadier, I think we're going to let you go so that you can join that briefing, so you're able to give us an update on what the situation is currently. Ayanda, as you can see, the divers have come out of the water, and there seems to be a briefing that is now going to be underway. You'd recall yesterday they had indicated that they detected a metal object inside this river, and it had basically been the size of the vehicle in question, or the vehicle that is being sought. But what they're also indicating is that there's no indication, perhaps from this briefing that you're seeing right now, we're likely to get an indication of whether they managed to detect anything this morning. Remember, these are running waters. I'll ask my colleague Kwazi Mansi to show you. These are flowing waters, so an object that you might have found here could have possibly moved. We don't know. We will try to get an update as soon as that meeting is underway there. And as you can see, the divers that were in the water just a few moments ago have now come out. And as they've come out of here, the Deputy Gauteng Police Commissioner, General Fred Kekana, is getting a briefing from these divers on what the situation is currently. It's been a couple of hours now that this operation has been underway. What they've managed to remove, you'll also see on the side there, was a tree, a huge tree that they managed to move from where they believed they had detected this metal object. So that tree has been removed by that major tow bar there. There have been massive searches taking place here. And perhaps let me try to bring in Brigadier Athlenda Mathe. Once again, Brigadier Athlenda Mathe, let's perhaps get an update from you on what the latest is.
So there is a debriefing session that is currently underway. We have been informed that the divers are regrouping. They have searched the length and breadth of this part of the river, and they have not found anything. So it means it takes us back to point 1. So it's quite long. It's a 4-kilometer distance. So it means we need to go back to other parts of this river and resume our search. But unfortunately, we have not found anything on this part. But where we are now, this is where the Renault Kangoo panel van was found. It was found just here. So that is what also brought us to this area. So for now, nothing positive, but we are continuing. As you can see, the meeting is currently underway. The debriefing session is currently underway, and we are regrouping, re-strategizing. We are not giving up. It's Workers' Day, and let me also thank the teams that are out here on Workers' Day, on a holiday, really responding to the call of duty. It's through dedication and commitment that you see our men and women in blue, not only our men and women in blue, but working with other key stakeholders, working on a public holiday. Yeah. And that just talks to really the dedication and the commitment that these individuals possess.
Yeah. And speaking of your team, Brigadier, are you concerned at all about their safety? Just a few minutes ago, we saw them really going deep down with all those mechanisms that they have, a lot of obstacles that they're dragging out. Are you concerned at all as they continue with this operation?
Look, you can see it's a busy river, it's polluted. Safety first for our members, but we do have the expertise, we do have the commanders that are assessing the situation by the minute and advising whether it's safe or not for the members to go in. But you would have seen that the members, when they go in, they are carried by very long ropes, and that on each side there are members that are holding on to these ropes to ensure that they do not slide down and get washed away by this water.
Brigadier Athlenda Mathe from the South African Police Service, thank you very much indeed. The latest update now, this particular area that was being searched by the divers since very early this morning, unfortunately have not found anything. They have come out of the water at this stage, and remember, yesterday police had indicated that they had detected a metal object from this part, but subsequent to that now, the divers have come out of the water, Ayanda. That is the latest update. And from right here behind me, where they had been searching, they have not found anything. So that is the latest update at this particular stage. Police divers have now come out of the water. They have not found anything at the part where they felt the metal object. They're saying now they're going to regroup and possibly go back to the first location and try to continue searching there as well. But if I could just show you, that is the massive tree that had been, removed from here, from the area where it was believed that there had been this metal object that had been detected. That was believed to have been one of the stumbling blocks to exactly where they wanted to search. But unfortunately at this time, Ayanda, the story is developing, and developing at this particular point, as you can see, that the police divers and the rescue team have now come out of the water. They have not found anything.
And Griselda, very briefly, if you can, help us locate where you are in relation to where the story kind of kicked off on the N1. We were told that the river that is really at the center of the search is about 1 kilometer long, the stretch at least that they're going to search. Help us place then kind of how, these officials are approaching that particular search.
So Ayanda, we're about 4 kilometers away from where the Renault, you remember there was a Renault van that had been found, a bakkie or a van found on the scene. Now, this is 4 kilometers from where that was, right? So remember, part of the investigation by this team was to establish whether indeed the metal object that was found was from the particular vehicle in question, the vehicle that the 3 police officers had been traveling in. So once they had detected some metal that was stuck underneath the debris, as they had put it, they decided to begin their search here this morning. But unfortunately, that has not yielded any results. Brigadier Athlenda Mathe from the South African Police Service indicating that, when you take a look at the waters flowing, if something is found in the water in a specific position now, it would possibly not be at that location at a later stage. I'm not an expert, certainly, on these particular issues and how the rivers or waters would flow, but in this particular instance, the police are telling us that it's 4 kilometers away from from the actual scene where we were, where the bakkie or the Renault bakkie had been found, and unfortunately where they'd located this metal object, where they searched this morning, nothing has been found there.